All right, hey, everybody. We got raided, so I'm coming in early. We were letting people kind of hang in on their, come in on their own, but we got this raid. So welcome, hello, thank you for the raid, Papa Jared. Thank you, raiders. Welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. But yeah, I was just spinning up the stream. I've only been live for a couple minutes here, and happy to have you here. Welcome to the old stream. If you're new. We will not be watching old comics or not comics, old cartoons. I don't know why I said comics. We will not be watching um, old cartoons of dubious quality, but we will be talking about some stuff that I hopefully will like, video games and wrestling and model kits, because that's what I do here is I build model kits and Lego sets. And I'm currently working on the Amazing Red Warrior, which you can see right here, which is from Build Fighters. And Build Fighters is a series about people that make their own gunpla and then battle with that gunpla in like a 3D future tech environment. So it's a love letter to the Gundam series and model kits, and it features a lot of cool, weird additions and like this is my RX-78, but it's red, and it's the Amazing Red Warrior. It's like a Gundam, but it has lots of weapons and is cool. And there might be a couple out there that go, why does the name Amazing Red Warrior stick in my head? Why is that something that I'm thinking about? What's Amazing Red Warrior? Why is that a thing that culturally I might know? And look, there's 20 right now. It might be like one or two of you that are like, I know what this is. You may be thinking of professional wrestler, the Amazing Red, who you may know from his time at TNA as one of the X Division champions there, or his work in the independent scene. He's a trainer, has worked with a lot of New York talent, and his cousin is current WWE superstar Selena Vega. So you might know Amazing Red from that connection. And as far as I can tell, the Amazing Red Warrior is the only model kit that shares a name with a professional wrestler. You would think there'd be more just because of nonsense naming conventions of just taking a few English words and throwing them together, that there would be. There is a Psycho Gundam, and there is a wrestler named Psycho Sid. So that's close, but it's not the Psycho Sid mobile suit. You know what I mean? It's close. That's the closest one I could think of off the top of my head. Psycho Sid is also named Sid Justice, depending on where he was working. But Psycho Sid is what many people would refer to him. Oh, Sid. Sid Vicious as well. I'm scrolling out. But yeah, I'm gonna work on a model kit and hang out. I'm gonna adjust. I was getting water, and then I was like, oh shit, I got raided. Does Psycho Sid also absolutely tower over the competition? He does. So Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Psycho Sid is a very tall man that I'm not trying to disparage because I've looked in a mirror and I get it. Sid looks like he's wearing old man makeup that he ripped off some of the wrinkles. Like he's got a nose that looks like it's putty. You know what I mean? He's a man that looks like he's got a Halloween costume that's peeling off. Scary individual. I'm going to get comfortable here. Sid is the kind of wrestler that he would show up. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome. He would show up to an event where he would just be doing a promo and he would just be talking to camera. Maybe he would be sitting on commentary, or he'd just be like, oh, we're doing a scene where you're backstage, and he would be in full wrestling gear. He would not be wrestling on the card, but he would dress in his wrestling gear, which was unnecessary, but added to his whole appeal. I think I'm going to stop talking about Psycho Sid right now, because we don't need to get into Sid. Putting a mic in his hand was a mistake constantly. which was fun. Anyway, model kit building, because we got friends coming in. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. Consider becoming a subscriber if you like. We're currently at 25 subscribers and our goal is 50. I shut up about subscribers when we hit 50, which we have not hit since mid-February, I believe. That dropped down, which is okay. It happens. People move on. People find other stuff. People get gifted subs and they don't continue it. That's part of life, baby. That's part of the process. Let's see. What's going on in the world of stuff? I guess we should say that Miyazaki won an Oscar, and he was not there. And that is funny because he continues to not give a shit. I know some people were pulling for the Spider-Man movie, which I understand why you would pull for the Spider-Man movie. But yeah, hey, a bad Miyazaki movie is still really fucking good. It's still kind of incredible. And I'm not even saying The Boy and the Heron is bad. I have not seen it yet. But I do know that from people who I trust, some of them not super keen on that film. So, as much as other works. But still. Oh, I dropped. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Yeah, there we go. I dropped my snippers, and that's bad. Hey, Lord Crashington. Welcome, welcome. When the snippers fall, then you got to pick them up. But yeah, that's the big takeaway. I did not watch all of the Oscars. I watched some of the Oscars. My other Miyazaki is just sparing us from having to look at him without a beard. Yeah, whatever. Man wants to take his beard off, he can take his beard off. Hey, Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button. For those of you that came in from the raid, what's happening now is my channel points allow certain things to be unlocked. And the second most expensive one is for me to hit the dance button. And then dance music plays that can be on the local recording and it won't be a problem. So in this case, it'll be this song. And yeah, I'll dance a little bit. And if you're at home watching the stream and you want to get a little funky with it, you can get a little funky with it. Obviously, it's up to you if you want to get funky with it, but you can. Once the cowbell comes in, then you know it's time to fade the music and then move on to the next thing. But yes, thank you for using your channel points, Lord Crashington. Other thoughts from the Oscars that I have. Of course, you can sound off in the chat if you have thoughts from the Oscars. And you were like, oh, Pat, well, this thing happened and it's wild. My other two things are that the performance of I'm Just Ken was pretty great in a very musical theater way, which I appreciated. It was a performance. It was a whole shebang. I think that was really fun. And its reaction is obviously that room full of people in the biz and whatnot. But its reaction to that, and I also think online, continues to prove my point, which is the people that say that the American public are scared or dislike musicals and need to be tricked into going a thing that is a musical, I think that's full of shit. I think they're full of shit with that. I think people are down for a fun time, and musicals can be a fun time. Not they don't have to be. Some musicals are through the medium of song trying to hit your heartstrings. They are not a fun time. But like a fun musical, it's pretty fucking great. Lasper says the performance was the only part I watched. Yeah, I get it. The other big thing was John Cena's fake nudity thing that people were talking about. And I know some folks are like, why did that happen? And the answer is because of a movie. It's an R-rated comedy that he's got, Ricky Stenicki. If you have seen retweets or like screen caps of John Cena talking about his OnlyFans and making bad innuendos, and you're like, hey, what the fuck is happening? Why does John Cena have an OnlyFans? He doesn't have a real It is an OnlyFans. It is a free OnlyFans, but it's promotion for this movie that's coming out. It's also, if you sometime last year saw photos of John Cena in a skirt and like a mini skirt walking around, and you were like, that's a weird Photoshop. It wasn't a Photoshop. That's from this movie as well. But yeah, part of the promotion of this is John Cena has an OnlyFans. The thing I've been wondering is, once the promotional period for this movie is done and we're not talking about Ricky anymore, will John Cena or John Cena's people delete all of those tweets so that they are not found in 3 or 4 years? Because that would be funny if they just left them up and then people were finding them out of context. Because there already is context right now and people are still like, hey, wait, what's happening? Which is great. I think it's pretty great. We are almost done with this whole damn arm here. We're going to do a little panel lining, get the marker out, try to make it look nice, but we're getting good on that. Is there anything else from the award show that I wanted to say? I don't know. I think that might be it. We got to get this hand together here. We are going to do the hand that will have that will hold weapons, because this kit has a ton of weapons. So we got to make it look. We got to make it so that we can have one of the hands that will hold a bunch of these weapons. So that will, because this kit is just covered in weapons, which is awesome. We're going to throw a little marker on here. Now, normally for red, I would use a brown marker. I use gray for white or off-white pieces, brown for red, and just about everything else I will use black. But because this kit is primarily a red kit, I am using black because I think that'll look the best together like that. If it's just like an accent piece, I will often use, for red, I will often use the brown marker. But because this is the main ass color of this kit, we want some contrast with it, which I think this does better than using brown. I think brown isn't gonna make this kit pop, so, or parts of this kit pop. And because it's red, it's dark red, it's light red on dark red, I think that this kit will just kind of blend together and the parts won't really stand out. When your accent color for your kit is the biggest accent color for your kit is gray, you do run the risk of standing out. Oops, I actually missed a piece here. I was like, this isn't connecting together properly. Doesn't look right. There was like a gap that shouldn't be there. And that's because I missed a part. Just understandable. I'm only human, everybody. Let's see. I guess we on this stream often talk about video games, and in the process of talking about video games, we do talk about gaming companies, because they're the people that make the games. And unfortunately, that means that in 2023, and of course continuing into 2024, we talk a lot about company layoffs. And obviously, Deadspin was not, and will not be, probably, a company that media that covers video games, but keeping an eye on digital media, and especially reporting, those that do any kind of long form journalism of any kind. It's important to kind of look at that in the digital landscape, because it's all unfortunately very connected. So of course, Geo Media has decided to go ahead and sell Deadspin to a European publishing company Lineup Publishing. They're a European firm, apparently. Um, and in the process of that, Deadspin is being sold. The idea of Deadspin is being sold, not the not the company Deadspin. They're selling the brand. And that means that anyone working for Deadspin that survived previous layoffs and the layoffs that happened within this company, layoffs that happened as part of the acquisition of that company, along with the rest of Geo Media, um, uh, and that leaves people out in the rain. And you're like, well, normally when a company buys that, they get a staff together, and there will be layoffs, but those layoffs will be on the company. The new company won't have to deal with that. Why would this happen? Why would they just want the brand and lay people off? Well, most likely, it's because they're a union. Lashbrook says the part of the company everyone likes is just the name, right? And one of the big things is that there are people that think that way. There are people that are stuck in the belief that it's the name and not the people that are there. Now, obviously, brand recognition is important. I'm not trying to say it isn't important to have brand recognition, to see a link and see, oh, that's on Deadspin. Oh, okay, that's cool. But to ignore the possibility or the reality that it's the people that work there that keep the thing running, right? That keep the machine going. And in this case, union people that do that. Because beyond the fact that in Europe, in many countries in Europe, the European Union specifically, because not everyone in Europe is in the European Union, there's a separate thing, or, there's overlap, obviously, but it's not the same thing. It's not interchangeable. There are procedures for doing layoffs. And it's a fucking process, and you may run afoul of several governments if you choose to just lay off your entire staff. So the workaround here, the supposed seeming workaround here, is to say, this is not the right piece, we'll need this later, is to say, oh, we didn't buy the staff, we bought the name. Because in America, laying off all those people because you sold the rest of the name and they didn't come along with them is fine. I mean, there might be some people who get mad about it, but it's not going to be a big deal, unfortunately. But yeah, obviously, brand means something, but it's the people there. Because, I have looked at websites I think are bad because someone I like worked there, right? Or a site that turns out I like Fanbyte. I wasn't super interested in Fanbyte until Danielle Riendo started working there. And then I was like, oh, all right, well, I like Danielle. I'll check out Fanbyte. And then it turns out I liked a bunch of people that worked there, didn't even know. And it was like, oh, okay. This is a place that I want to see what's up in. I want to investigate more about because somebody I like works there. And I certainly don't think I'm alone in that. I remember being so happy when Patrick Klepek joined Vice Gaming at the time, Waypoint, then Remap now, obviously, because I really like Patrick's writing. I really appreciate his work, his journalism, his voice on a podcast, both comedic and obviously otherwise. I think Patrick just does a fantastic job. He's good at what he does. So when he joined a company that I wanted to support, it was really nice because I followed him to the reboot. I barely paid attention to him when he worked for the MTV gaming vertical. I barely paid attention when he worked for the attempt to EGM2, the relaunch of EGM2. I barely paid attention to that because that seemed awful. and it turns out it was. But yeah, I barely saw him when he was doing that stuff. I mostly just wanted to support him and find ways to support him as best I could in whatever he was doing. Let's see, 24. So even if some people don't know, here's the other thing, right? If you get rid of everyone who works there, what are you going to do with that brand? Are you going to pull an Atari? Where you just like, well, now we have the name, so we can just do whatever with it. And the thing you actually want to do with it is sell light up hats, speaker hats, or get hotels. Like, I don't know, like what, we don't know, right? We don't know what is Deadspin going to become? What is this new Deadspin going to be? Yeah, hire a bunch of writers, use AI, like hire fewer people, hire a mostly freelance staff that works, that certainly does not get paid union rates with any kind of protections. Yeah, just try to plug it along and then sell it for less than you bought it for. And be okay with that because you're a startup. So you don't care about that shit. You would have liked to have built it up more, but instead you actually, because of that, you end up selling the other thing that you care more about for more money. So because it goes, Deadspin's new owners have made the decision to not care. This is, of course, from a statement of motherfucker Jim says, Deadspin's new owners have made the decision not to carry over any of the site's existing staff and instead build a new team more in line with their editorial vision for the brand, which obviously we don't know what it is, but we can make certain guesses, and all those guesses are rude. Those are all rude guesses that I would make. That basically, yeah, their editorial direction is cheaper. Fuck off. We're making this cheap as hell. Cheap as hell and without any bites. We're going to, and even if you're like, we're going to make it European focused. You're like, yeah, all right. The staff could have done that. Oh, yeah. They plan to take a different content approach regarding the site's overall sports coverage. And here's the thing. I bet that their content approach is going to be TikToks and Instagram Reels, because that's the new buzz thing that people think, and YouTube Shorts. People think that instead of having a website, the solution is to do social media on other sites, ? Profit. Which does not seem to make any sense. That eventually your brand will be so good that companies will pay you to make things for their site, instead of you just putting stuff on their site for free and then maybe sharing an ad revenue, which just sounds like... And if you think that doesn't make any sense, Pat, that sounds like nonsense, you're right. I also think that sounds like nonsense. But that's what people are going to try to do. They shouldn't at all, but they're going to try. They're somehow falling for the Facebook thing again. They're pivoting to video. Mind you, their Instagram pays almost no one any money. TikTok has no way to serve ads really, so they pay on like spec. They have like a pool program of money they are willing to pay out to people in order to keep some creators going. And again, not much money in that for sure. All right, 28 and 29. And YouTube Well, YouTube just is right now supplementing the money that you get from YouTube Shorts, and it is not an accurate reflection of the money you would be making on YouTube Shorts. They're inflating the price and the pay of it because they want to retain people as much as possible. They want people to get in on it. That's their response to TikTok and Instagram Reels being a thing that people want to look at. So like, well, we need native shorts, so we'll pay pretty well for shorts. We'll pay better than we probably should for shorts, which I have certainly benefited from. I am now at the point where I got another pay. I got a payout for AdSense, Google AdSense, way sooner than I normally would get a payout for Google AdSense because, weird, I know, because some of my YouTube Shorts did well. One thing, an update about that I had forgotten. It has been so long. St. Patrick's Day miracle, yeah. It has been so long that I have gotten a YouTube payout for AdSense that I forgot that I don't know when I'm going to get that money. You have to hit the threshold. The threshold is $100. I am now at $103. So I am now eligible to get the payout. At some point, a 21-day window will occur. I don't know when that point starts, and I don't know if I can't remember if I will get that notification about when it started. But at some point, within 21 days at some point, I will just get $103 sent to my bank account. And hopefully I'll know when that happens. I'm just going to look at AdSense every couple of days to see. Or I'll notice it in my bank statement. But at some point I'll get paid. And a reminder, when I do get paid, the thing that will happen is I will buy model kits with that money. Because not every dime of it is because of my streams here. But a large portion of that $100 is from streams related to what I do here. But I made the decision a while ago, I can't really separate those unless I only made a YouTube channel that was only about everything but my model kit stuff, which isn't accurate. So because I don't have that, it all just feeds back into this. So if I make money because a short does really well, or I make money because collectively over the years my panels have had plenty of views, people watched ads or had YouTube Premium in place of ads, it's like, okay, it all adds up, and eventually it leads to me having some amount of money. So it all feeds back into the stream. So I'll use that $100 to buy a bunch of high grades and some inexpensive Lego sets, and I will refill the coffers. Capitalism, yes. It all feeds back in. Again, I wish that it was clearer when that process is going to happen. It's just like 21 days this thing happens, and it's like, oh, okay. So at some point, money will come in, and then money will go back into model kits, and that'll be nice. Speaking of which, ads are going to run at some point, friends. An ad break will run at some point because I did not run my own ad break. And in fact, actually, you know what we'll just do? I'm going to run a 1-minute ad break. I normally do it before the stream really kicks off, but because we got raided, I'm going to just, I didn't run it because I didn't want to hit all of the people that came out on the raid with an ad. But now our numbers are a little bit more stable to what they normally are. So apologies for folks. I'm going to run a 60-second ad break. Folks that are subscribers won't see the ad. And we're going to do that right now. So that way it doesn't pop up in weird times. We're just going to do it right now. 30 minutes into the stream. My apologies. But once I run this ad break, we won't have any more ads until for the rest of the stream. So here we go. 60-second ad break. My apologies. And of course, you get to see it. The rare instance where, well, actually, is it going to work? Let's see. It did. It started. You get to see this, folks. Normally, as I said, about 6 minutes into the music and the vibes, I start the stream, or I start running some ads. But of course, we're not in that situation right now, which is okay. D1. Only used a little bit of D here. The D. So we'll get that going there. We're now working on our very tiny shield, which eventually will have weapons on it, and our, I believe, a beam can be attached to this. This is the wrist gauntlet. I believe that's what this is, and it'll look nice. And we may lose a couple viewers because I ran a 60-second ad break, and I'm okay with that because, mostly I'm just happy that Papa Jared, decided to raid. That was just nice of him. And the 60-second ad break is over. Now we can get back into it. It's back. Hooray. All right, so we're going to put our beam holder there, and we'll panel line that once it's on. And then we will put our, throw the cross up. Goes like that. And then that goes like that. And that's our shield. And our shield is done. And then I should just panel line this now, right here. Hit these lines here. That'll look nice. Other things. So I think we're done talking about Deadspin, which obviously is a real shame. It's a real bummer. Let's see. Other gaming news. If there's any other gaming news. Supposedly, the showrunners of the Fallout show, the Fallout Amazon show, have been know about the at least what's being worked on as far as the plot of Fallout 5, which is funny because that's like years and years and years away. So who knows? But we don't know that maybe some Fallout 5 stuff will be a long time before we find out. But apparently some of Fallout TV, the Fallout TV show, will mirror some things in Fallout 5. But also people are taking Jonathan Nolan's quote out of context, which is just like, he basically is like, it's almost like we're Fallout 5. And people were like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a TV show. So people are freaking out about that quote. But I mean, I understand where he's coming from. He's like, yeah, we're part of the universe. Like, what? And it's going to be years and years and years before we get Fallout 5. So it's like, okay. But also they said that there was something that they were going to do in the show that Todd Howard was like, don't, because we're doing that in Fallout 5. So, and that, which led Todd Howard to basically be like, here's what we're thinking Fallout 5 is, so don't do these things, because we want to do it. Which also could change, and some of those things could not happen in Fallout 5, because they're so far away from that being a thing. But also, if it really works in the TV show, maybe it'll end up in Fallout 5 anyway, because why not steal from the people that are adapting a thing and putting their own spin on it? Why not? Lord Crash says, one of the bits I saw from the Oscars that I liked was Arnold and Danny DeVito talking shit about Batman before seeing Michael Keaton in the crowd to call him out. Yeah. I thought that was fine. I like Danny DeVito, and I'm glad that Danny DeVito gets to do things that he seems to like. That's nice. I like that. I want people to do stuff they like doing. It's good. That's my hot take. I like it when people I like get to do cool shit. Speaking of cool shit, check this out. Booyah. Look at that. That's some cool shit. Beam short sword. You can do a beam long sword too, but beam short sword. We could also put beam long sword if we want to get long with it. That feels, wow, I'm burned by that hot take. I hear you, Lord Crashington. Sometimes I go wild. So that's the long one. I think we're going to put the short one on here for now just because it's funny. I like it. I think the long is too long. But the beam blade, the wrist-mounted beam blade is just good silliness. And then the shield, eventually a weapon can come out of the shield. And Lashby says, I'm meaning to say I love the tiny shield. The tiny shield is great because it is just like a wrist gauntlet, and I like that. But also, it's probably because this kid has so many weapons, they didn't want to bog it down with a big shield. And I think that's the smart play. I think that is a fun, smart play to be like, nah, you got the tiny shield. Let's see. Should we skip ahead and do the waist just to build off of it? Yeah. You know what? I don't do this enough. And I have occasionally been accused, lightly accused, of being too set in following immediate instructions and not deviating ever at all in any way, shape, or form, and just doing exactly the order, and who cares, you know? To which I say, yeah, I get that. So let's build the waist. Why not? Let's build the waist, and then we'll do the feet and then the legs. Because also, almost all of the legs can be done at the same time, which is great. But we can just build the waist, and then we can build off of it. And then when we build a leg, we can attach the leg. Why not? Why not do that? Let's see. Is there any other gaming stuff to talk about here? There's a McDonald's thing that's happening in just Europe right now that seems fun. It is a Happy Meal toys, obviously, always good for McDonald's. Happy Meal toys, classics, always a good time. In this particular case, they are Hello Kitty and Yu-Gi-Oh! They are a Hello Kitty Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossover, and it all looks cool and neat. It's like you got your Dark Magician, and you're like, my melody is Dark Magician Girl. I'm not going to go through all of them. Hello Kitty is the Dark Magician, of course. Bats Maru is wearing a hoodie that makes it supposedly look like the Red Eyes Black Dragon, and I think that is perfect for Bats Maru, who whips ass. Shout outs to Bats Maru. Yeah, I'm not going to do all of them. Keropi is Karibo. That's a good one. I don't know all, like, a Cinnamon Roll is Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I look at it and going, I do not know who Cinnamon Roll is. I do know who Blue Eyes White Dragon is. But the frog is Karibo, and I was like, yeah, that checks. That works. It's good. It's silly. I think that I don't know why it happened. I don't understand. It don't make no sense. But it's happening in Europe, and it looks cool. Pom Pom Purin is Exodia, the Forbidden One. Pom Pom Purin is a fairly newer character that is cute in there. But yeah, they're little toys. And apparently there's some kind of digital thing, but we don't know what that is. But it looks neat. Let's see. Reportedly, Bobby Kotick wants to buy TikTok, which sounds like bad for everyone, except maybe Bobby Kotick. Maybe Bobby Kotick does fine with that. But apparently he's looking to put together a group. But basically, you may know this. The United States government decided the only thing that they can agree on in any way, shape, or form um, is that TikTok is bad and that TikTok needs to sell it. It needs to have a U.S. buyer, which doesn't make any sense. It never has made any sense. It's what are you talking about? But anyway, one of the people thinking like maybe I'll put some money together and buy that is Bobby Kotick, and that just sounds terrible. Like, I'm not here defending TikTok in any way, shape, or form, but also Joe Biden's going to sign it if it does make its way through the Senate, but the House of Representatives. House of Representatives has to verify it, then send it to the Senate. Senate's probably going to send it to Biden, and Biden's probably going to sign it. Because, also should remind you, Joe Biden seemingly doesn't want to win the re-election, right? Like, that's the only thing I can think of, because he seems so... Either Joe Biden has convinced enough people who are like, hey, fuck off, are still going to vote for him, or he does not want to win, and he doesn't want to continue being president. Because that's all I can think about these days when it comes to that. Because there's just like a lot of decisions that seemed explicitly designed to have 18 to 24-year-olds not vote for you. Just not vote at all. Seems weird. Seems like a strange choice. But what do I know? I'm no politician. Let's see. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. That apparently one of the people that Kotick is looking to raise capital from would be Sam Altman of OpenAI, with the idea that they could use TikTok to train AI on. And if they owned it, then they wouldn't have to pay the company. Obviously, they wouldn't pay the people making TikToks for that. But they wouldn't have to then pay TikTok to do it because they would own TikTok. And again, good fucking luck with all that. Doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't be at this point anyway. Obviously, I'm a broken record on that particular point. But it just seems stupid. Yes. Yeah. Empty promises are just a thing. But again, can't get much done. Can't agree on anything. Can't get anything together. Hands are tied on all of that. But we could definitely come together on thinking that we got to handle this whole AI. No, we're not handling that part. But TikTok, China owns that. Can't have that around here. Gotta fucking take care of business on that shit. Bring the hammer down. Force them for some reason to sell it. That's the solution. All right. Done panel lining. The waist just about here. There's one sticker we have to add in. I gotta clean this up first here. So we'll add the sticker. Then we'll connect the waist together. Do that part of the shenanigans. Let's see. Let's see. Anything else in the world of gaming? Oh yeah, I didn't mention this. Yesterday was Mario Day, and I hope everyone that that chooses to celebrate, had a good time. I hope you enjoyed your 310 Mario, March 10th Mario. Um, there were some sales. Hope some of y'all got in on some sales for that. Oh yeah, I gotta put the sticker on here. And then also, there's gonna be another animated Mario movie, and that Lord Crashly doesn't recognize corporate holidays. I understand. I hear what you're saying. From the perspective of news, we're reporting on this specifically because there's news. And the big news is, hey, they're gonna make another animated Mario movie. Because why the fuck wouldn't they make another animated Mario movie? That other one made a lot of fucking money. It was well received. But Miyamoto put out a video and was just like, hey, we're going to make another one. Illumination's going to do it. We're psyched. Be there April 3rd, 2026 in America, Japan, and select other places, and then throughout the month of April. It seems like they're not going to do the thing that they did last time, which is put it out in some countries before it gets to America, which probably is for the best, because that seemed like a weird choice. But yeah, they're going to make another one of those. Like, yeah, they probably should. Maybe it'll be better. But it doesn't have to be, because I'm not the target audience for that movie. Also, Luigi's Mansion 2 is coming out on June 27th. We already knew that remake, or sorry, not remake, the remaster. I'm going to move on the feet because we did the waist here. The remaster of Luigi's Mansion 2 is coming out June 27th. And May 23rd will be the release of the remake of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. And once again, reminder, Luigi's Mansion 2 remaster, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake. And then Switch Online got the Game Boy's Dr. Mario, Game Boy Color Mario Golf, and Mario Tennis. And those are both going to be available, or sorry, all three of those will be available tomorrow. If you're doing the Switch Online thing, you can get your hands on those gems. As Jeff Gersman has founded, the science checks out. Dr. Mario, fun concept, banging music, not a great video game. But it, again, banging soundtrack, just whips ass, just fucking so goddamn good. We here on this channel appreciate and love the cool tunes we hear in Dr. Mario. But it's not a great video game. Now, Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color, that's a fucking video game. Mario Tennis, I like. I don't love Mario Tennis for the Game Boy Color. I have liked later games. But, big fan of... I think the Mario Tennis game is good. I just think they're better. Whereas... that Mario Golf game, I think GBC Golf or Mario Golf is my favorite of the golf games. I think it's just a fucking sweet ass game. It's like real good sweet spot. Just really, really nails it. Gets what it's doing. Well, Greg says the GBC Mario Golf and tennis games are the best in the series. They went downhill from there. Yeah, I think that there have been Mario Tennis games that I liked more. Now, also, we must always appreciate the sports games because we got, doubles in tennis. The reason we have Waluigi is because of doubles in tennis. Because Wario needed a partner and they made a copy of a copy, and that's how you get Waluigi. So of course we're always grateful and thankful for the work of the sports games to give us one of the best characters out there. Oh, yes. Also, it's 311 Day. Lord Crashington reminds us. Yes, happy 311 Day to all who celebrate. I hope you enjoyed the 311 Tiny Concert. I did not watch it, but I know that happened, and I think that's fun and good, and I don't have any issue with that. I think that's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, get 311 on Tiny Concert. That should happen. But yes, happy to 311 Day. Amber is, of course, the color of your energy, and coming like a nightmare. Let it be known that I'm in the zone, and whatever I need, I just pick up the phone. I remember too many lyrics to the song Hive. Because it starts with coming like a nightmare. And what do you got to show for it? Oh, sorry, no. Coming like nightmare. I forget the line. Fucking around. And what do you got to show for it? Let it be known that I'm in the zone, and whatever I need, I just pick up the phone because I'm cool with it. You're new with it. Something. It's Nick Hepsum, the one who knows about Thangs. Because it takes two. And we slam better than you. Again, I don't remember all the lyrics to that song, but I remember more of the lyrics to that song than I certainly need to. Certainly know more lyrics to the song Hive than would be required in any way, shape, or form. So this is going to go like this. That goes like that. All right. Working on the feet here, so I'm just trying to make sure I connect the feet properly, because then I don't have to redo it. I've seen 311 in concert performance with Lord Crashington, though I mostly went for Blink-182 and Sum 41. That is a goddamn period in time. That sentence, I've seen 311 in concert before, though I mostly went for Blink-182 and Sum 41. Yeah, Lord Crashington, of course you did. Yeah. 2002. If you said, with surprise special guests, Alien Ant Farm, I'd be like, fuck yeah, you did. Although probably Alien Ant Farm opened for Sum 41 when they got big enough to start doing their own tours and not jump in. Edema was the fourth band. That checks out, right? That checks out. Because, probably Sum 41 got big enough that Alien Ant Farm opened for them, and then Alien Ant Farm had their cover of Smooth Criminal, which was enough, and Movies, which is actually a good song, that got them far enough that they could then, run their own thing. Like, I've said this before, a friend of mine's brother was a drummer in a metal hardcore band that called Sid Christmas that never went anywhere. But if you were coming to Connecticut and you needed an opening act, you had a sporting act, but you needed a local opening act, Sid Christmas was the band. Because my friend's brother, the drummer, had a great drum kit you could always borrow from. All of the venues liked them. They had a good little local following. They headlined their own things, but mostly opened for local acts. So we went to go see them, with the headliners being Incubus, which was like, all right, yeah, I didn't love Incubus, especially at the time, but I was like, yeah, all right, I'll see Incubus, and Sid Christmas is going to open, cool. What's the middle? Well, the middle, they had an album that came out, but their first single didn't chart, and their second single was due to come out soon. The middle for headliner Incubus, right before they joined the Limp Bizkit tour and blew the fuck up. Their middle, who would take a little longer to blow up, was System of a Down. because Sugar had not become a single yet. And when that did, things would change for them. And the next time I saw them, they had a very prominent position in Ozfest. But yeah, it's very funny that I saw System of a Down in Wallingford, Connecticut, and they were certainly like they people left, people like checked out and came back for Incubus. Like there are locals who wanted to see Incubus, knew Sid Christmas, so they were psyched about that, or just came for Incubus and they didn't even see System of a Down. But I remember being like, "Oh yeah, do you want to go? Do we want to go say hi to Mike?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's go say hi to Mike." And then we left to go say hi to the band, and we were talking to them and whatever. And I was talking to a couple of people in that I kind of knew, and at least one of them had my mom as an English teacher in high school, so there was that and all that. Because me being at that, you look at me and you know me, the folks that are here, you get it, you know what I'm about. You understand that like a hard rock show or a hardcore show, you're thinking, that's a weird place for Pat. And it wasn't, because that's the music that my friends played. So I would be at their shows. But people who didn't know me and only knew my mom, it would be weird because they'd be like, "Oh, that's Pat. Oh, that's Mrs. Baer's son," and they'd be like, "What?" It was weird for some people. So anyway, we go inside of them. We come back out, and System of a Down is kicking ass. And I was like, who the fuck are these dudes? Why is there a palm tree on the stage? Why is most guitar solos involve the lead guitarist for System of a Down air humping his guitar and playing incredibly fast? What's going on here? A lot of these lyrics read like poetry. That's fun. And then Sugar started, and I was like, oh shit. I think this band whips ass. Like, I bought that CD, their breakout CD. I purchased from a friend of the band who was doing their merch sales during Incubus's set. The people we were ostensibly there to see. Because I was just like, and believe me, this is an accident. It holds up. This is an accident. Because, like, I am not saying that I have ever been ahead of the curve on anything, ever. I am not a tastemaker. In fact, my taste in music, generally people are like, I don't know what are we talking about here? Like, I'm like, oh, check this out. Like, I posted the other day that the Japanese release of the new Ghostbusters movie, the classic Ghostbusters theme, I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts, has been re-recorded and remixed and covered by Adarashi Gakko, who are a fantastic, weird Japanese idol group. And it's their cover is weird and it's fun and I like it a lot. But, like, nobody gave a shit about that on Twitter. Why would they? I don't know how many people even bother to listen because they don't care about my musical taste. So when I say that I immediately understood that System of a Down whipped ass and that this was I had gotten some cool shit. I was ahead of the curve. That's just an accident. That just happens. The Ozfest I went to in 2004, since Lord Crashton had Seville on the main stage and Avenged Sevenfold on the secondary stage, which was cool to see a black vocalist at a heavy metal show. Oh, totally, yeah. One of the big acts on the second stage in Ozfest 90, I forget which year I went to. Maybe 99, maybe 97, 98, whatever. One of the closing acts on the second stage was Pot USA. Pot USA. That's the President of the United States of America. I was Pusa. Pusa was one of the big acts. Spanish heavy metal. And that was cool. Oh yeah, he does have a memoir coming out. That's right. Crazy says, my music is either Miracle of Sound or 25 years old. Yeah, plus old. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll say this. If you ask me to name a new artist that I'm really into right now, like modern music, I'd be like, I think Olivia Rodrigo makes fun pop music that I think is neat. Adarashi Gakko makes music that I think is really fucking good. I listen to a lot of songs performed by professional wrestlers who are also in an idol group. Up, up, down, down. Up, girls. Up, down, down is Austin. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place tonight. Up, down, down is Austin Creed's YouTube gaming channel. Up, girls. I listen to a lot of Up Girls. I don't listen to Fozzy. When I have to hear that song, I'm bummed out when I have to hear Judas. But like American artists, contemporary American artists that I'm most into right now is that like is anywhere weird or different is probably 100 Gex. Like I'm probably most into 100 Gex of any artist right now. 100 Gex rules. They're in the W2K24 soundtrack, which is weird. In the jukebox mode, which I turned off for streams so I don't get demonetized by that shit, because I would get demonetized by that shit real fast. It's bad enough when I gotta have wrestlers themes on. WWE is usually pretty clear about you just being like, yeah, take money from this, I don't care. But some of them are like, no, you don't get to. Creed, Claudio, Breeze, and Cole forming an idol group would be fun. It would be, yeah, that would be a good time. I don't think Claudio has rhythm. If I remember correctly, Claudio has no rhythm. That is a thing that he is bad at. Is carrying a tune. If I remember correctly. That is one of his few flaws. Anyway, hey, I ran an ad break a half an hour ago, but now, none of that. Instead, right now, what's going to happen is I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel. And these are optional things. We're going to get through this pretty quickly because it's actually, even though we had a big raid at the start of the stream, which was wonderful. Thank you, of course. Shout outs to Puppet Jared for that raid. Lovely. We don't have a lot of folks here tonight. On a Monday, it's a little bit of a slow Monday, so I'm not going to go super deep into it. But if you are a subscriber, now is a great time to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego of the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or using your Prime Gaming token. You get cool emotes. You don't see ads. We just got raided again. Welcome, raiders. Hello. Casey Malone raided. What a lovely night of raids. Welcome, everybody. Hello. I hope you enjoyed Casey opening packs of cards, because I believe that's what Casey was doing. I was just taking I'm not taking a commercial break. I was taking a tell you who I am break. And so this is the perfect time to do that. We'll do a truncated version of that, and then we'll get back into model kit building, because that's what we're doing tonight, is working on a model kit. I've got the amazing Red Warrior right here, which is a cool model kit. It's very red. It's amazingly red. I'm just mentioning here, we're currently at 25 out of 50 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. I will stop talking about that once I hit 50. That's kind of the drill. So if you'd like to become a subscriber, you're more than welcome to. Hit the follow button if you haven't already, because that's another way to support what I do here. This kit that I'm currently working on right now, amazingly enough, was bought off my Amazon wish list by someone anonymously. I don't know who bought it. If you would like to buy something for me to build on stream and have it jump the queue and not be something from my backlog that I would be happy to build, everything in my backlog right now is stuff that I would like to build because I bought it to build it. But if you want to buy a model kit or a Lego set, I will say right now, if you were interested, if you were like, I would like to buy something for Pat to build on stream, and it would be great if it was under $20. Right now, there is a burger truck Lego set. It is the burger truck toy set. It is like a food truck that's shaped like a burger. That right now is $16 on Amazon. It dropped in price. If you'd like me to build that, you could get that. There's model kits, Lego sets, bunch of different stuff, some gear. I just added a very expensive model kit to the list. Um, uh, that is $36, but comes with a bunch of bullshit that looks pretty cool. Like, a bunch of different things in there. Consider it. That's the most important thing there. A way to support me and not spend any money, because as I said, I am doing this kind of truncated version tonight of my ad reads. I have a Discord, and you're welcome to join that Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. Some people promote themselves. What most of my Discord is, my little invite-only Discord, but you could just click that link and join in. The major thing in that Discord is that sometimes people post stuff into general that they think they'd like me to see. And I think that's great. And sometimes it's stuff that like, yeah, we're going to talk about that on the next stream. And sometimes I'm just like, wait, what's that? Oh, cool. And it's nice. It's a nice bit of business. It is a benefit I did not expect. Memes and news. Yeah, that's often it. And sometimes it's meme share. But yeah, again, if you build model kits or Lego sets, or you built a birdhouse and you want to show that off, you can do that in that Discord, and we'll ooh and ah about it. Couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club is a video series that I do on my YouTube channel, and the most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club that I uploaded is me talking about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and I go through all the categories and the winners, and I talk about who I think should have won and who should have been nominated if they weren't nominated. And I start off mad. I start off big mad because the Witch from Mercury didn't win anything, and that's bullshit. In any of the categories they were nominated, and they weren't nominated in categories they should have been nominated for. And by the end of the video, I'm talking about the pleasant surprise of finding out who won and who was nominated for Best Voice Actor in countries, in languages that I don't speak or read. So I'm not watching their dubs of it. So I'm not seeing their dubs, in like what is in Canton, like not Cantonese is probably wrong. That's probably the wrong one. I picked a language that German, like what's being dubbed into German that is being recognized as exceptional, or French, and I think that's really fun. So that's in the video. You can watch that if you like. And then Kuma Baer is I'm doing some short form videos this year. Every Wednesday I put a new video out. I'll have a new one out again this Wednesday. But the most recent one, Kuma Baer, is my weekly series where I do my best to, in under a minute, convince you to watch an anime that I think is exceptional. And I talked about Laid Back Camp, which is one of my favorite anime ever. Certainly modern anime, but it's in my top 10 of all time as a series. There's 2 seasons with a 3rd season coming out soon, a side series, and a movie, and it's all on Crunchyroll, including the movie, which is great. So in a minute in the video, hopefully I pique your interest on that. And I'm trying to keep them to be like 40 seconds or so. I want them to be over before you scroll past it. That's my goal. So a minute is like the top end, and I'm trying to like the sweet spot of like 30 to 45 seconds. Can I say all of that? Is a interesting exercise for me, your friend Pat. I have been somewhat successful in doing that, and I'm pretty proud of that fact. At the very least, I have gotten messages from people saying, hey, I actually, I checked that out. I have someone currently watching all of My Love Story because I recommended it. It is a show that they had missed, and they're going back to it. And I absolutely love that. Anyway, I'm going to talk about some Manhua. Manhua is the Korean. This is Manha. I say the Korean name Manhua instead of Manhua, which is the Chinese name of comics. I've been reading some Chinese comics, so we're going to talk about them, and then we're going to talk about some anime. Before we get into that, a thing that I need to definitely do is drink some water and transition back to the overhead camera. So we're going to do that right now, dramatically. Here we go. We're back on the overhead camera, and we're going to work on this kit. And first, it's extension point manga because that's just the thing that I use. But we're going to talk about Disastrous Necromancer and logging 10,000 years into the future. So, an overview, because I did have this thought the other day. I realized, I talk about Korean comics that I read, South Korean comics, obviously, that I read. I don't ever really talk about on stream any Chinese comics. Now, Chinese comics are often very similar to their South Korean counterpart in that they're full color and they are vertical scroll, kind of like an endless vertical scroll, and they come out weekly in the South Korean style. That's certainly true. There are Chinese comics that are more akin to the American or Japanese style, depending. So you get some American style where you're reading left to right and you're getting panels. But right now, the big thing in Chinese comics is aping the manhua, the South Korean vertical, because reading comics on your phone and distributing through networks to get it onto your phone is the easiest way to distribute and to read those comics. So that is primarily the style, and those are the style of what I'm reading now. There is a market for people translating those works officially and unofficially. They do get out there because there is a market for that, as I said. Some of the most well-known of these genres are there's a lot of BL in or boys love in Chinese comics, neither of which that I'm going to be talking about tonight are fall into that category, but they're out there. They are incredibly chaste. It is a lot of like innuendos. There's a lot of like, this is a gay comic and they will never kiss. And those are doing quite well in China, which is awesome. But the ones that I am talking about here are very much influenced by South Korean comics, in that both of them are worlds where there are guilds and there is power leveling that seems to be ripped out of a video game, and there are gates and monsters and superpowers and all that kind of thing. Again, very heavily influenced in this instance, or in this example, from the South Korean style of comic and the subjects that are very popular within those comics. And you can argue, is it that they're popular or they're popular to show up officially or unofficially translated? And that is an argument that I'm willing to certainly have with people, because there's plenty of stuff that doesn't get translated, that is more romance, that is more everyday life, that slice of life stuff that just doesn't hit. But I will say, from a what is popular standpoint, the most popular ones are generally this kind of like action, dime a dozen action series. If you thought that the isekai and the overpowered main character stories that I talk about on here, if you thought that those characters were not strong enough and dealt with too much adversity, then you got to check out some manhwa, because manhwa, like, Holy shit. Both of these things are like Disastrous Necromancer. A guy gets a rare class. He gets a rare class when he's powering up. He's chasing after his sister, who is incredibly strong and is like a once in a lifetime talent. He gets the necromancy class, which is like very rare, and people are like, "Oh, that's a shame. Nobody knows what that means." It turns out that our dude can just summon an army of undead to fight his battles, and he has a move called Corpse Explosion, which explodes corpses. And then he gets to... So he uses skeletons to kill his enemies. Then he explodes those enemies to explode more enemies. And then he turns those enemies into more soldiers. And he gets more powers as he goes. And it's just... Uncle Amiibo, it is incredibly overpowered. And that's the thing, right? Because it's formulaic in that we are constantly being introduced to people who think that he is weak because he's low level, or they don't believe in his achievements because they've never heard of him, or they're just so confident in their own powers. And the amount of people who get immediately owned is astronomical. Folks get so fucking owned so fucking quickly in Disastrous Necromancer. And also, our dude is cold-blooded. He is one of the least caring main characters. He's got like people he respects. He's got people he loves. There is his supporting character is a girl that is just like an assassin class. So she kind of like watches his back sometimes for surprise stealth attacks, which is great for him because that's like his one weakness. And she's just literally they talk about how she's being carried. And she's just like, thanks for carrying me through this, this class assignment. And people are just like, I'm mad about that guy. And then they're like, oh, I respect that guy. Shit. Or there have been numerous characters that are like, our biggest mistake was fucking with that dude. And now we are dead. So it is a very easy read. I think the art is solid. Like I said, it comes out weekly. It is a totally readable story. I would not say you gotta Google it. You gotta find it on a site and turn off, scripting so you don't get whatever and deal with pop-ups and all that stuff. Like, no, don't worry about this thing. This is not something you have to read. But as I said, I haven't really been talking about this style of comic. So I felt like I should at least talk about a couple. So let's talk about logging 10,000 years into the future. Our main character isn't that strong. But he's a good guy. He's trying his best. He's not that strong. He unlocks an ability, but no one's ever fucking heard of this ability. So he doesn't go public with it. He keeps it to his, keeps it close to chest. He's like, I don't know what this is. I don't understand what's going on. But if it allows me to get stronger, that's cool. And then he falls asleep. And that night, while he falls asleep, he wakes up in 10,000 years into the future. And he's freaked the fuck out by that because the future is bad, everybody. The present of logging 10,000 years into the future is that like the monsters are already here, demons are here, people have superhuman abilities in order to counter that. That's working out pretty well. There are guilds and their systems and all that, and they're extraordinary people, and the weak are even in a worse position than they used to be because, in this world of super strength and all that, how are you just going to be a guy if you ain't got cool powers and stuff? In the future, humanity is lost, and there are zombies and monsters and demons and husks of humanity, the people that got very strong. And our guy finds a computer system that was designed with like a sophisticated AI that was basically designed to tell him information about the future and history. And so he knows what's going to happen. And it's like, oh, well, that doesn't mean anything, right? Like, him knowing isn't going to help anything because he's so weak. Except that once he defeats a monster, suddenly he's stronger. And it takes a little while, of course, at the beginning, right? It takes a little bit for him to be able to pull that off in his dreams. And when he wakes up, he's as strong as he was in the future, in his dream. And it honestly does not take him that long to put the pieces together and realize, oh, so as long as I fight stronger monsters in the future, I'll become stronger. Like, that's pretty evident, right? That's a pretty easy thing to pick up, pretty easy thing to like to wrap your head around. Like, okay, in the future, I can get stronger. I can fight stronger and stronger things, overcome them. I will power up. And then there's the other part of it, which is what the future is not set in stone. The future that he is witnessing is a possible future. And the timeline when he wakes up, the timeline he's in, will change because of him getting stronger. And I think, like, in a, honestly, pretty fucking mediocre story that is very skippable. Logging 10,000 years in the future is very skippable. But a thing that I come back to that I really like is the future that he constantly checks in with. Sorry, let's check one thing real quick. I'm being invited to a birthday party. Cannot go to that birthday party unless it has a online component. Whatever. Friend of mine is planning a surprise party for another friend of mine, so I won't say more than that. Sorry, I got that message and I was like, oh, I haven't heard from this friend for a while. Oh, it's a party thing. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, again, it's not like that it's an incredible story. There's not a lot necessarily going on that I'm like, oh, you got to check this out. You got to. But the thing that I come back to that I'm really engaged with is the fact that he constantly checks in on what his future is. And it's not just like, oh, how strong did I get? It's like, okay, well, what happened to humanity? Like, his basic goal is, I'm going to get so strong that my descendants become really strong. And then my descendants will be able to handle things in the future. Like, I'm going to raise the abilities of humanity such that we'll be able to win this. And, like, at one point, he finds out, like, oh, shit, I got married. I married this girl that I'm hanging out with. Weird. And then later in the story, he's like, wait, I have more than one wife? And it's that person who's a little older than me? Like, that, like, works at the school? I'm like, oh, that's weird. But I guess, they get married after that. But I'm like, oh, that's weird. But he's just like, oh, that's weird. Okay. But he's like, oh, I lived longer now. Oh, this change means I've gotten here. I've gotten there. Oh, I never had that breakthrough. I never crossed to be even stronger than I could have been. Oh, this didn't work out. Oh, this happens. Oh, I can kind of prevent this, but I can't prevent that. And it's not great, but it is good. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to it. And again, those are the moments where I'm like, this rules. Then there's even more than Disastrous Necromancer of fuck around and find out, and you find out so soon after you fuck around. Like, it's almost instantaneous, because this dude goes from like 0 to hero really fast. So there's a huge amount of people just being like, oh yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, I'm not worried about this dude too. Ah, fuck. When did that guy get so strong and so cool? And why all these people like him so much? And how is he so strong so fast? It happens so quickly. One thing I don't love is, it is true in some cultures. In some cultures, we'll say this. referring to someone as fatty as a nickname because they are heavy is not as derogatory as one might think. And I understand that. I understand that that's culturally not as big a deal as it is here to refer to someone who is large as fatty. I still don't like reading it. Still don't like reading it when there's like the large guy who's there's a dude, he shows up to college basically, like martial arts college, and there's a guy there that is just like, you are cool as hell. I think you are rad. And I'm nice, so let's be friends. And our guy is like, hell yeah, what's up, fatty? And it is not derogatory when he says that. But I still don't like it. Still don't like it. Still don't have to like it. Still choose to not enjoy it. And I know that is a weird nitpick to be the thing that you don't like in this story, but I don't. But again, there is something to logging 10,000 years in the future that hits me in a way that I'm like, I'm into this comic. Moving on from Chinese comics, and there will be, I'm reading a few others. Those are the two that I really wanted to talk about. There are a few others, so they'll show up on a Manga Monday or a Manhua Monday or a Manhwa Monday. They will be present again. But right now, we need to talk about some anime. We are way past the point that I have read the Strongest Tanks Labyrinth raids. So now things are happening, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. We are like, again, way past the point of me knowing what's going on in this series. And we're getting into some weird shit. So I'm interested in that. Before we work on the other leg, let's just complete this leg. Let's get the ankle going here. Or not the ankle, the socket of the leg to attach it to the waist. I don't know why I said ankle, because that's not what we're working on. But we'll get that together, and then we'll work on the other leg. We'll be done with the right leg, and we can work on the other leg here. Let's see, I need B25, and then I need a polycap. Strongest Tanks Labyrinth raids. Dude got kicked out of the hero's party. They fell apart pretty quickly after that. He meets a big point is he meets a homunculus, a secret homunculus, who has the ability to appraise. So he finds out what his hidden talents are, which makes him even better as a tank, helps him out quite a bit. He is now in charge of a guild in the town he grew up in. He is searching for a cure for his sister illness. His goal is to defeat a bunch of labyrinths, take out the demon lords, the high-ranking labyrinth owners, defeat the demon lords, and then eventually have enough of these wishes, quote-unquote, that will fully heal his sister permanently. So in their town, another homunculus shows up because they got their homunculus, who is Luna, who nobody knows that she's a homunculus. So this girl, Fair, shows up, and she's like, please help rescue my friends. So Rudd, our main dude, is like, you know what? Yeah. You know, the free will and all that. I'm going to help you. So they go out and they find that there are homunculus who have personality. These artificial creations that have some personality. They are being chased, and they are fighting with some homunculus that are mindless. They are just combat homunculi. They don't have any personality. They don't have any free will. And they are from the Burkle's kingdom. And the homunculus that ran away are being attacked. And Rudd defeats them. It's pretty quick. He's very strong. He defeats them, and he still regrets having to do it, but he recognizes that they were mindless, and that there was no peaceful solution to that. He offers the 12 survivors sanctuary, but he's like, this is going to be a problem with that country because they'll want them back or dead. Uncle Amiibo says, I haven't done to the pen detailing or stickers yet. Looks like they really add a lot to the overall finish. So, some stickers, I think you can take or leave, right? Like, look, do I think this kit looks cooler with the shoulder sticker on it? Yes. Do I think this kit really needs the eye stickers? 100%. This kit really needs the eye stickers. It really does make this shine. The fact that it has these cool eye stickers on it really does help a lot. I think you can pick and choose your stickers. As far as panel lining goes, this kit is probably not necessarily the best example for panel lining because it is so dark. But if your kit is mostly gray, if your kit is mostly white or mostly gray, markers can really make it shine, can really make things pop. They add a lot to it. I think like this part here does look better because I put some black marker around the cross there. I think it does dramatically like make that look better and kind of make it more stand out. And in person, it definitely looks better. Like obviously here, oops, sorry, widen out here, yeah. Here, it might not be as super noticeable on camera, but in person, it certainly is. So I do think that stickers can really make a kit, especially color correcting stickers, because you might come across some kits where, like, oh, that one part just doesn't look right because it doesn't have, it needs a gold sticker on it because that part is black, but it should be gold. I do think that, like, I was never a sticker person. I started doing it more because I started building more kits on stream, and people were like, "Oh, what about the stickers?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right, I'll try the stickers." So I got more into it, but I hadn't really started with doing stickers at first. Let me pop back into talking about the show. So basically, they are allowed sanctuary for a while. They're going to try to figure what's going on. So they can basically, like, it's going to move up the chain. They're going to try to get to the king of this country, like what's going on with the neighboring country, and them making homunculus, which seems like a big fucking problem. So they're gonna look into it basically. The homunculus get a job. They basically they get a job working construction, which they certainly handle well and do a pretty good job with it. But yeah, they basically get a construction gig. And let's see. Luna spends a lot of time. She is trying to change the common people's opinions. The common folks, the locals. Why is this being weird? Sorry, everybody. I did just fine with this on the other build. Why is this one being weird? It would make sense if I knew. But yeah, I did fine on the other leg, and then this leg is giving me trouble. You know why this is giving me trouble? Because I put it together wrong. That's often a good reason why things don't work. That is a good reminder for myself and a good reminder for y'all as well. If you're getting into the hobby, or if you're new to the hobby, if it doesn't fit right, you might have assembled it wrong. There are times where you do have to put a little bit of pressure to get things to connect, but normally it will make it very clear that you need to do that. Like you gotta attach firmly. It'll say something to that effect if there's English, or it'll say it in Japanese, and you can use Google Translate on your phone to read it. But yeah, I have to disassemble this, take this part, flip it because I put it in wrong, and then it'll work out fine. But I have to separate these two pieces here without breaking anything because that would be bad. So I'm now just using this wedge tool to rock this back and forth to get some separation without anything breaking, because I could always fiddle with it. There we go. We separated that without any problems. Take this out. Turn it around. It is now matches the art. And then when I put this back together, this should now slip in. Yes, no problems. Slipped in immediately. It's almost like it was supposed to look like this, and I was doing it wrong. That couldn't be possible. Anyway, back to this comic, this anime. Amon, who is one of Rudd's underlings, is like, hey, I probably know who is making these homunculus. It's not just that kingdom. They're using the kingdom. It's probably the Demon King Greed. The Demon King Greed is working with the king, and he's one of the highest ranking Demon Kings. Is going to be a problem. And Rudd is like, well, I've got this ability that lets me copy magic, so I'm tempted to maybe rush in there. But Amon is like, hey, misusing that magic could really mess you up. It could really fuck with your head. It could turn you into a monster. You got to be really careful with that new ability you have. And Rudd is like, yeah, that'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll work out. But our episode cliffhanger for the strongest tanks Labyrinth raids is suddenly there's a voice in his head that only he can hear. And that voice is saying for him to destroy everything. Uh-oh. What's going to happen next? I don't know, because the manga stopped getting released around this time because it's based on the light novel. So I literally don't know. I'm interested in finding out. And then over on Fluffy Paradise, which I have not read, I'm only watching. And my biggest takeaway from Fluffy Paradise is this anime is less chill than I would have assumed. An anime about a girl that gets reincarnated with the ability that anyone who is not human is automatically interested in being friends with her. And she has a bunch of lots of cool animal friends from all walks of life, and a bunch of sacred beasts like her and are looking out for her. I was like, this is going to be real chill. It's called Fluffy Paradise. The thing is, she's got to build that paradise. And in order for that paradise to get built, some people have to fucking die. Some humans have to die because the humans of this world are kind of shit. And I did not know that going into this. Yeah, Fluffy Paradise is not a chill anime. There are incredibly chill moments. But like, there's this big spider that shows up, and they have to kill that big spider. And then as that big spider is dying, she's just like, please look after my baby. Which they do. But like, did that big spider have to die? I don't know if it did, but it certainly did die. And in this episode, there are a bunch of kobolds, which are just dog people, and they're cute and fun. But there are a bunch of humans that are showing up to kill all of the kobolds, which is clearly a plot by somebody, and we're kind of figuring out who's doing this plot, which is an organization. There's an organization that is making monsters move to locations they shouldn't be in, which causes conflict with humans, which causes conflict with monsters. It's a cycle. Our main girl, Nema, is trying to stop that and create a sanctuary for monsters. That is her end goal, is to create a sanctuary for monsters so that they can be they can fight in natural habitats and live and die, but not go amok and cause problems for humanity, basically. So there's a plan coming. They're trying to collect evidence about who is plotting all of this stuff, because they're not sure who's doing the plotting, but they do know that some plotting is taking place. There's shenanigans are afoot. And then there's a fight, and some humans die in this episode. There are some casualties. and they kind of know who, they kind of at least know who's behind it. And then by the end of the episode, Nema and all of the kobolds have disappeared. That was like the end plot, was like, have a fight, sow doubt into the seeds of or the seeds of doubt into the adventurers about why they're doing this, and then disappear. And we'll find out what's going on later with that. But yeah, this episode was mostly humans and kobolds fighting each other, with some humans helping out kobolds. Because of the Red Halada, who was in charge of the humans forces, the extermination squad, was like, I think humans are helping the kobolds. And he was right. Yeah, and we find out, we hear the name of Runahark. Runahark is the name of these villains. And we have not heard that name before. This is our first time hearing about them. Hold on, sorry, 1 second. There's a sticker, and I don't know where that sticker goes. And it must go on the weapons. I just haven't come across it yet. But I realized there's a sticker that I have not applied. Okay, yeah, one of the weapons goes on the sticker. Okay. I was like, wait, there's a sticker and I haven't applied it yet. Did I miss where it's supposed to go? I didn't. So anyway, that's Fluffy Paradise. Again, it's not... I really like the premise of the show. I think it's been weird because it front-loaded a bunch of cool animals, and now it's like Nema has to basically create a sanctuary of fun animal friends, and that's taken some time and effort and energy, which, you know, makes sense. But it's less of a laid-back thing than I would have expected. Now, it's not as heavy as The Weakest Tamer. That's actually the most bummer isekai out this season, because that isekai I knew from reading the manga, and I'm not covering it on a weekly basis, but I've been watching it. That's a sad one. This is the girl who, like, at a certain point, she understands that everyone hates her in her village because she's so weak, and the only person that ever cared about her at all also didn't treat her that great. And when that person dies, she's like, all right, I gotta go. And it's just like a hard reality of she's got a shitty job, class, like, and she has a friend that is a slime, and she's trying her best to just make it in this world. And it's heavy, and it's gorgeous looking. Like, they put some effort into it, but it's like, it's not a chill series. It's rough. And like I said, I think this season has some rough isekai. I mean, even like the Healer anime, which is not great. Like, that one is ostensibly about a guy that is in the Healer's Corps, and so he goes through rigorous training because healers die often on the battlefield, because they're, you know, trying to save warriors or whatever, but they end up getting killed. So a woman who lost her whole platoon starts up a rigorous training camp, and our guy is kind of a masochist, and so he excels at, basically, he heals himself while he's being injured so he can go and heal people better, is kind of the thing. But it's a slow process, and like sometimes it's very funny and silly. There's a cool bear. It's got a lot of good stuff going on with it. And then the other people he knows, who are in more warrior roles, are definitely fucking have it rough and are doing their best with it, but are also in for a rough time. It's just like, and there's a couple other isekai this season. There's no chill isekai. This time around, yeah, because Villainous Level 99 has some chill moments, but it's like got a lot of interpersonal stuff. I think that's probably honestly the lightest of them. It's probably that, but yeah, not a lot of chill in our isekai this season. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? What are you up to? I always like hearing from people about what's going on with them. So let me know in the chat if you'd like. You can tell me. I will tell you that I played some Helldivers today. My crew Some folks had some time to play a little Helldivers this afternoon. There have been some nerfs that I'm not the most happy with in Helldivers 2 for my certain play styles, but I am adapting and doing my best. I also had I went with Brian Kibler. I had a Kibler stream on today that I was watching to earn some packs and some other stuff in Hearthstone because the 10th anniversary of Hearthstone, and they reverted some cards to be like they used to be, and that has changed gameplay a bit in ways that I'm really into. In Wild, basically. And they went back to some old art in some places, which is neat. There's a new expansion coming, but they're also celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Hearthstone. So I got some drops in Twitch for watching a streamer that I do watch fairly often, and he was doing card reviews all day for the upcoming expansion, which has some stuff that I'm interested in. I have a lot of gold to buy packs in Hearthstone, so I'm going to be doing that. And then I played a little bit more Summer House. That's what I'm going to be playing tomorrow night on stream for my Tuesday stream, where I don't play games. Where I do play games and I don't model kit. That's the goal of Tuesday's streams. So tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be streaming some Summer House. Summer House is a unbelievably chill, cool, like house builder. Like, I don't want to say town builder because you would think that you think I'm talking about Sim City, because it's not that kind of thing. It is like a diorama kind of design because you are looking at it like a side view. It's not a top down, it's a side view, and you are building houses, and it is it's inexpensive. It's like $5. I think it's on sale right now because there's not necessarily a lot there. It is, again, incredibly chill and relaxed because that's what's going on. That's the idea. It's just you don't unlock anything. You don't have to do crafting. You don't have to do skills like, oh, you need all of this to unlock this. No, it's just a sandbox. It is a sandbox with a bunch of objects that you can place wherever, and the music is chill. It's pixel art. It's very pixelated. You can toggle the pixels on and off if you want a more realistic look to it. If like the art style doesn't work for you, there are ways to just switch it up if that's something that you're more interested in. And we're going to be playing that tomorrow on stream, and I'm looking forward to showing it off. I did receive a code. I will make sure to mention that in all my promotion tomorrow. It'll say that in my show description here, in the title. And I also include that in whatever tweets I make and social media posts about it. I will do my best to inform people that I did receive a code for that game. It's not a sponsored stream, but I did get that code, and I do want to make that clear when that is applicable. And I'm going to read what y'all wrote, because y'all wrote some stuff about what you're up to and into. Crazy Kook says, watch Dune Part 2 today, I should say, and just got to Donica Island in Infinite Wealth. Hell yeah. Have fun there. Have fun on that island. That's from what I've seen, because I haven't played that yet, some weird shit. Lord Crashing says, still in the tournament arc of Dragon Ball. I love the tournament. I love every tournament. Every world tournament. I love the bit in Krillin and Bacterian's fight where Goku has to remind Krillin that he doesn't have a nose, so he's not really affected by the stench. Yes, he's only psychologically affected by it. He's not actually affected by it because Krillin doesn't have a nose. Lord Crashing says, I've been playing more Balatro as I delve into the madness. I had a couple of good runs with Jokers, making face cards really good, and then get a boss blind invitation face cards that ended my run. Oh, a boss bind in validating face cards. Yes. I am on a Balatro break. But that's kind of the thing. I'm a bit of a Balatro break because I've been playing Hearthstone a lot. Also, I was just hitting moments of extreme frustration with Balatro, so I am on a bit of a B break. and I'll get back into it another time. Uncle Meebo says, been watching Solo Leveling. Description of Disastrous Necromancer sounds similar. So, yeah. I've talked about it on stream a bit. So, Solo Leveling was not the first manhwa to be about a character that uses a video game-like leveling system to grow powerful in a world where people have powers and there are guilds. That is a thing that is throughout manhwa, South Korean comics, which Solo Leveling is based on a South Korean comic. But it became incredibly popular and became the standard. So there are a lot of South Korean comics that are very similar to Solo Leveling, because Solo Leveling is very similar to a lot of those. Like, it is a style. Obviously, that style of like level up, grow stronger, use a system, RPG mechanics, also very popular in Japanese comics as well, because South Korean comics are influenced by Japanese comics, of course. But yeah, the idea of I was a low level member in a world and I was looked down upon, and now I have a powerful skill. But it's not just about me getting stronger. There's also a greater thing happening out there that I am just kind of barely scratching the surface on. I will say this: Solo Leveling fucking goes places. It goes wild, goddamn wild places. I really like it. Let's see. Ursavan says, I still haven't beaten Balatro using the black deck. -1 hand is really tough, and was fun to watch Alex from Nextlander play today. Oh, nice. I didn't see that they played that. I know Alex really likes Balatro, so it does not surprise me that he played that on stream. That's cool. Again, I did not see their stream, so, but that's nice. Last week says, now that I'm not burning through One Piece, I'm catching up on the Giant Bomb Nextlander content you missed because you've been focusing on that. Okay, makes sense. I also bought the Dark Forces remaster and spent Sunday beating the game again. Was bummed to find out using cheat disables achievements without telling you. Yeah, I mean, that's a bummer that they don't tell you. But also, if you're using cheats, you should, in my opinion, you should expect that. Like, obviously, they should tell you. They should tell you. But also, if I was using some cheats, I would expect them to disable that stuff. All right, so we are now just working on weapons here. We're going to finish this kit on the next stream for sure. Because all we have left right now is, now, to be fair, there are a bunch of weapons and a bunch of configurations for weapons. But this kit is nearing completion because all we have left is weapons. Like, we have one sticker left on this next weapon, but for the most part, this kit is done. They patch the quick save totally. Aristophane's wife loves Solo Leveling. Hell yeah. The manhwa is excellent. The anime of Solo Leveling, surprisingly, improves the story because it cuts out some shit. Like, it cuts out some weird edgelord stuff that doesn't make any sense. It makes a few changes that I think are actually really good. It makes one change that feels weird, but then it justifies it. But they've made some smart changes that I can appreciate. Lord Crash says, I'm looking forward to getting MLB The Show later this week and getting woke enough to create a female player for its career mode. Yes. Lord Crash says, I can't believe we're going to get so woke. Unbelievable. So yeah, all we have left for this kit is weapons, but there are quite a few weapons to build, and there are a bunch of options of weapons. So we'll have to go through all of the various options and take a bunch of photographs of that. But we are body complete on this kit at least. And all we have left are weapons, which is cool. And that will get done on Thursday. Thursday stream, we'll do that. And then we will start a new model kit. And I don't know which one because my $10 patrons will get to figure that out in a poll that I will run at some point. But now is the part of the stream where we raid. We go on a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We always end with a raid. We're going to find somebody doing cool shit out there that we want to go support and hang out with. As John says, we always end with a raid. We got raided twice tonight by Puppet Jared, aka Jake Young, and Casey Malone. Is it Merry Monday? Okay. We often raid Mary Kish because this is the only day that Mary streams. So it conveniently, and also Mary streams for a while after we are done. So that is really nice. Yes. And Mary's playing Frog Detective 2. I love Frog Detective 1 and 2 very much, very much. Frog Detective is a very fun, charming game. So I love that Mary's playing that. We're going to go raid Mary Kish. Please come along on this raid. Mary is fantastic. What a doll. Oh, also, but they're done with... We missed out on Frog Detective, and now they're playing Balatro. Well, that's fine. Or they're switching to Balatro. That's fine. Thank you for the update, Lord Crashton. Balatro, also great to watch. Mary's mom is involved. That's fun. Thank you all so much for being here. Hope you come along on this raid. Thank you to the people that hung out from other raids. I hope you have a great time. We're going to go hang out on the stream. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, Summer House. I'll be the only streamer you know playing it, probably. Talk to you soon. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.